I'm always excited to have this next gentleman on. Anytime that I can get him, it's a blessing in disguise. He's just a really great young man. And I'll tell you what, I met him when I was with another radio station, and he came on and was one of my first guests, and he had a couple of real good songs he brought with him. And to make matters even better for him, I don't think he realized they were both going to be #1 songs, but they were. One was gospel, made #1 on our gospel bluegrass chart, and the other one, which is the one I'm going to play right now to get ready to bring him on tonight, was #1 in bluegrass right here on the Mountain Bluegrass with David Pugh radio show. And I moved on over to the BluegrassJamboree.com. Things have gotten bigger and better, and I'm so proud the show has done so well. And its guest I will always remember that came on, I don't know, I think he's only 19 now. So then he was only, I'll ask him when I get him on, I'm going to say maybe 16. But he just had a lot of great success with his music. He's doing well. We're going to catch up with him tonight and play his brand new single that he just got together down in Nashville and got it recorded. And I think y'all are going to love it. Yeah, let's not wait any longer. Let me introduce to you tonight one of my good friends and one of my favorite people in bluegrass and country music alike, Mr. Brayden Williamson, and we'll welcome him to our Mountain Bluegrass show tonight here on the Bluegrass Jamboree. Brayden, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing? I sure appreciate you having me on here.
Oh, I'm glad to have you. Like I told the listeners, anytime that you can come on, we're always proud of you and glad to have you. You're you're like one of the pillars of my program as it grew and developed on another streaming radio station even, and then came on to where it's at now, and it just continues to do so well. And I remember people like you. When I was afraid to call up artists, some of them, and ask them to come on for an interview, and you were so kind at 16, and you was very mature for your age. You sounded like you were at least 18. So, but I enjoyed talking to you, and you were a good interview. And then just to watch that song, Brayden, just climb that chart. And I was so happy the night that I was able to announce it as our new #1. So, what have you been doing? What have you been up to? I know you played a lot over this past year, the summer, and even in front of summer. Kind of catch us up on what you've been doing, and then we'll start talking about your new music here.
For sure, man. I tell you, it's been a great summer, and I've really had a good time with all the things that I've been blessed to be able to do. I just got back from Nashville, and I recorded my first EP under a professional sound engineer, and Vic Gabani and Kurt Story, they led the session at the Eagle Canyon studio. And Vic was Bill Monroe's producer and manager back in the 80s following up to his death, and then he worked with Jimmy Martin until Jimmy Martin's death.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Now he's working with Brayden Williamson, right?
That's exactly right. And Kurt was also their engineers as well. Him and Vic together, they worked as a team pretty much, Kurt Story, and he's the sound man at the station inn. And while we were in Nashville, I was invited at the station inn to perform on stage with Carl Jackson and Larry Cordell with Val Story when she did her.
I know you enjoyed that. They are a couple of good guys to sit in and sing with and have them backing you up. Nobody like Larry Cordell and Carl Jackson. They're two of the best, aren't they?
They're fantastic, and they've written some really good songs. And Larry Cordell wrote Highway 40 Blues for Ricky Skaggs.
Yes.
Carl Jackson wrote Little Mountain Church House, which was a very popular gospel song.
They're amazing.
4-song session. That's it. While we were in Nashville, and I recorded Watching the Grass Grow Again. I recorded that again professionally.
Okay.
I recorded I Just Go to the Cross. And I recorded the newest one I wrote called A Man Named Bill Monroe, and that's the one I sent to you.
Yes, and we're going to play that tonight here for the first time on my show and on the BluegrassJamboree.com, and we're going to get it out to a lot of people tonight. Brayden, what made you decide? I mean, I know everybody, I think, that knows you from hearing you on my shows, know that you're very loyal to Mr. Larry Sparks. He's one of your big heroes in bluegrass, and a very good one. He's nominated, hallelujah, he's nominated this year for the IBMA Male Vocalist of the Year. It's about time, right, Brayden?
Absolutely, man. I tell you, Larry's still my favorite, and he always will be.
Yeah. I remember asking Larry last time I had him on the radio show. I said, Larry, I said, well, how do you feel about not being nominated? Because the time I had him on, he hadn't been nominated in years. And he said, David, he says, I just kind of keep on doing what I was meant to do, and I can't worry about the awards and all that. And he was very humble about it, but I am just so glad to see him on that list of nominees this year for a Male Vocalist of the Year. And I would love to see him win it. Just so deserving. But
oh yeah, I agree with that.
What made you go to the song, which Bill Monroe, as you well know, Brayden, from listening to my show, the Kentucky, the home of the father of bluegrass, Mr. Bill Monroe? What made you? Did you write? You wrote the song, right?
I wrote it entirely. Yes, I sure did.
Yes.
Well, I knew I was going to be performing at the Bean Blossom Bluegrass Festival.
That's what I wanted you to talk about. How'd that go?
Yeah, it went great. I felt so welcome there. It was my first year getting to perform there, and everybody was so great, all the people that run it and everything, and man, it was such a fun festival to sing at. We sang 2 shows, and then we did a workshop at the end where I kind of just talked about songwriting and just some behind-the-scenes things of what goes into making a good bluegrass song and what. But A Man Named Bill Monroe is just pretty much about Bill Monroe. It goes through the history of him starting bluegrass music and keeping it alive through the years, and the respect that he demanded from the audience, you know.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I named some of the songs that Bill Monroe has done throughout the year, like the Mill Skinner Blues, the Bluegrass Breakdown, Blue Moon of Kentucky. I put all those titles in the song somewhere. I worked them in, and it turned out to be I'm pretty happy with the song.
And what Vic think about it when you took that song to him? I guess he did. He felt that was probably a really good song for you to start out with, right?
Vic come to the house because he's originally from West Virginia. He come and traveled to the house he was in, and he come and spent the evening with me. And I just set my speaker up and I played the iPhone recording of the song, and he really seemed to like it. And I asked some of his opinions on it and some things that he might be able to kind of direct me to, like maybe change a verse or put a verse somewhere else, you know, if he thought maybe it would have sounded better. But pretty much what you hear is what is originally written. And
right.
There's another song we also recorded in Nashville during our session. It's called Lonesome, Moonlight, Waltz. And a lot of people think that that's just an instrumental, but that's actually, there's lost lyrics to it. I shouldn't say lost. There's unrecorded lyrics to it that Bill Monroe actually came to Vic and asked him if he would write lyrics to this song back in the 80s because Hank Williams told Bill Monroe a long time ago that that was the prettiest melody he's ever heard, and there should be some words written to it.
Oh,
So,
wow,
he
that's
wrote
interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the big history part of the thing, and I think that's the big bang I'm going to go out with, and I'll be sure to send that song to you as soon as I get off of here, and you can listen to it. But we're going to release that soon, and it's got words to it now, and it talks about an old man in Kentucky losing his wife, and it's a really sad song, and it's a movie quality song, I really think so.
Oh, I look forward to getting that. Yes, I'd make sure. Yeah, you get that to me. That's a really interesting thing to do. That I like that. So
Sure, yeah, Vic came to me and gave it to me as far as letting me record it, and he said, "I think this would be a good song for you to carry on the name of Bill Monroe." Since this full project was kind of dedicated to Bill Monroe.
right, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, well, I've always asked a lot of artists when I've had them on if you could put four, and I don't think I want to set you. I am going to set you up tonight, Brayden. I would be wrong if I didn't, right?
Absolutely.
We'll ask you one question. I don't think I've ever asked you this question, but I bet you have thought about it, and I just want to hear your answer. But it's kind of not a hard question, but it is sometimes off the cuff if you're not kind of prepared for it. But if you could change all four of the men who are on Mount Rushmore and make them bluegrass artists, what four men or women would be on Mount Rushmore?
Right, and it's a shame I can only pick four, but I will tell you, and I'm sure I'll probably make a couple people a little angry with me, but I'll definitely tell you who I think, and it don't mean I don't think somebody else deserves to be up there, but number one, of course, Bill Monroe.
Yep, I think so.
That's number one. And as far as the traditional people that started it, I mean, now, you know, I like Larry Sparks, but he's still alive, and, you know, and he's still going just as good as he was. But number two would have to be Lester Flatt.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Number two. And number three would definitely be Carter Stanley.
Ah, I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Just because I heard a remark that Bill Monroe said that he thought Carter Stanley's voice was the most natural and best sounding bluegrass voice he has ever heard. That was Bill Monroe's opinion.
That's interesting. I like that you threw Carter Stanley in there. Now I have to wonder between a few artists, who are you going to pick for number four? I understand now even more, Brayden, why you want to have five, but we can only give you the four, as you well know. So I'm interested to see who I don't know. This next one is very hard, and I think that, and folks who are listening in, I may not even be right. I think I am, though. I think I know the two that he's juggling around, but I don't know which one he's going to pick. This is going to be very interesting. I hope I'm taping this show. I'm just kidding, Brayden. Who would be the number four person to be on Mount Rushmore?
Well, number four, it would have to be a guy that really was there since day one in developing the bluegrass sound, and his name would be Earl Scruggs.
Okay. There for a while, they were, wasn't there a little bit of a disagreement, or I don't really like to call it an argument, even though it got a little crazy even online. A lot of people thought that he had more to do with bluegrass and the sound than Bill Monroe had, and that got a little bit heated for a minute. Personally, being from Kentucky, I guess, I can't see anybody trying to unseat the father of bluegrass, Mr. Bill Monroe.
Not at all.
I do respect Earl Scruggs for what he did in introducing his style of banjo picking in the bluegrass and everything he did, but I think Bill Monroe has to be like George Washington. He's the main man. Yeah, I think that has to be that way. Well, that's very good. You did good. You did. I thought you was going to say Grandpa Jones there for a minute, Brayden.
Oh, Lord.
I'm just, and you know, God bless the memory of Grandpa Jones, because I saw him so many times on the Grand Ole Opry. What a great man, and he entertained us on Hee Haw and on the Opry, and he was a good man. But like you said, you know what? You could sit here and talk about it. Everybody would probably come up with another person they want to throw in. If all of a sudden I go, I tell you what, you can have 7. You wouldn't have any trouble picking some more.
Oh, I wouldn't have a problem at all.
Right. But I like your picks. That's pretty good. Kind of.
Oh, yeah.
You surprised me with Carter Stanley, because I thought since you picked Lester Flatt, you might pick Ralph Stanley. But I like that you picked Carter Stanley. Then you wonder too about the Louvin brothers. See, I can make this an all-night discussion, which I'm not going to do, because I will some other night when I get a whole lot of people to call in and get involved. That's going to be fun when we do that. But Ira and Charlie Louvin, I mean, they did a whole lot for us, and just, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of great folks in the world of bluegrass. And Brayden, we are so glad that at your young age, you're still 19, correct?
I am still 19, yes.
All right, you got to let me know when you turn 20. I think it's in November.
That's it.
Yeah. We're going to have a party on my radio show or something. But I'll tell you what, that'll be a big one for you. You have been a teenager for a long time, and you've done a lot of big things in bluegrass music as a teen, writing and getting #1 songs. So we just hope you keep getting better and better, and one day somebody might want to put you on Mount Rushmore too, you know. So yeah, that's what we hope for.
I love his music, and it's always been near and dear to my heart, because it's just always been my favorite kind of music, bluegrass and traditional country.
Yeah, two of mine. I love it.
I want to keep it alive.
I was born and raised in West Virginia. I moved when I was 11 years old to Kentucky. But when I met you, I said, this guy's from West Virginia. He loves traditional country and bluegrass. This is a good guy right here. And I knew you were going to be fine, and you are going to be for a long time. Okay, well, let's play the song. And I think they've got it worded. Sometimes that happens in what I get sent. But make sure you give the title of the song and I get it right, because I don't know if it's right in the data that I got under my listing. So I may have to change it.
It's called A Man Named Bill Monroe.
Okay, and on here it says his name is Bill Monroe, and I can see it going either way, but it's a man named Bill Monroe, correct?
That is it.
All right, so all y'all who are listening in, this song is being debuted tonight by yours truly, and we have the artist right here with us, Brayden Williamson. A Man Named Bill Monroe. I want you to see how you like it. I'm going to play it for you right now. If you love it, start requesting it. Brayden, I'll be back to talk to you just for a few minutes after this, and thank you again for being here. Here's Brayden Williamson and A Man Named Bill Monroe.
Started in Kentucky, a man named Bill Monroe, a sound that was so different across the radio. Blue Moon of Kentucky and the mule skin of blue. Can't you hear me calling and the bluegrass breakdown too? played on WSM in 1939, picking and a-singing Lonesome all the time. His music grew and shaped the songs we know today. He's the father of bluegrass, Bill Monroe is his name. It started in Kentucky, a man named Bill Monroe, a sound that was so different across the radio. His music grew and shaped the songs we know today. He's the father of bluegrass, Bill Monroe is his name. Now when I get to heaven, a reunion it will be. I'll see the man who gave us bluegrass history. I'll meet Uncle Pen and hear his fiddle too, sing with all of them up there and play my guitar too. It started in Kentucky, a man named Bill Monroe, a sound that was so different across the radio. Blue moon of Kentucky and muleskin of blue. Can't you hear me calling and the bluegrass breakdown too? They're all in the circle, singing up on high, picking on the mandolin to the Opry in the sky. WSM stands for William Smith Monroe. He gave us bluegrass music and played it every show. It started in Kentucky, a man named Bill Monroe, a sound that was so different across the radio. His music grew and shaped the songs we know today. He's the father of bluegrass, Bill Monroe is his name. His music grew and shaped the songs we know today. He's the father of bluegrass, Bill Monroe is his name.
A man named Bill Monroe. That's Brayden Williamson, and that's Brayden's brand new single. Brayden, I really like that. That's some good stuff right there, brother.
I really appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
And we're going to probably see that getting a lot of airplay. If y'all like that, request that song, just like Steve Owens was on with me earlier. I played some songs from him. You got to let me know if you like these songs and you want to hear them. That's why I try to take requests no matter what show I'm trying to do at any given time. I will always try to get your request in, and I'll write them down because it means a whole lot to the artist and what's going on. They work hard, get out there to play for us at these festivals and try to do what they need to do, and we want to take care of them on our end too. So, Brayden, I'm very proud of you for that song, and I want to thank you for coming in tonight. I know it's a little late. I was up late all night, I think, last night, working on my show and some other things.